If you are holding out for the absolute peak of smartphone engineering, stop everything you are doing right now. Apple's confidential roadmap for late 2026 has just leaked from the deepest supply chains in Cupertino in Taiwan, and the upcoming iPhone 18 Pro Max is shaping up to be the most radically overhauled device Apple has built in over half a decade. We are looking at structural, silicon-level breakthroughs that will completely leave every current Android flagship and older iPhone in the dust. If you are planning to upgrade your phone anytime soon, or if you just want to know where mobile technology is heading, you need to hear every single detail of what has just surfaced. Let us dive straight into the hardware evolution because the design changes on the iPhone 18 Pro Max are turning heads for all the right reasons. For the past few generations, Apple has kept a relatively steady physical footprint, but supply chain insiders leaking data directly from manufacturing floors reveal that the iPhone 18 Pro Max is getting a very deliberate, performance-driven adjustment. The screen size is staying at a massive, immersive 6.9 inches utilizing next-generation LTPO OLED technology, but the phone itself is going to feel slightly heavier and roughly 0.25 millimeters thicker. Before you panic about a bulky device, understand why that extra thickness exists. Apple is packing in a monster battery, pushing capacities past the 5,200 mAh mark. Combined with more efficient hardware, this phone is engineered to obliterate previous battery life records, easily surviving 2 full days of heavy, uncompromised use. Now, look closely at the front of the device, because the infamous dynamic island is finally shrinking. For years, critics have complained about the footprint of the Face ID sensors eating into media consumption and gaming space. According to multiple independent leaks originating from high-level component makers, Apple has successfully figured out how to move crucial components, specifically parts of the infrared projector system, directly beneath the display screen. This breakthrough reduces the physical cutout size of the dynamic island by roughly 35%. When you look at the phone head-on, the screen estate feels remarkably cleaner, more expansive, and infinitely more futuristic, bringing Apple one step closer to that ultimate dream of a truly all-screen, uninterrupted piece of glass. Colors are getting a bold, sophisticated overhaul too. While standard shades like dark gray and silver will always have their place, Apple is introducing a stunning, deep dark cherry red finish alongside a clean light blue option for the 18 Pro lineup. The rear ceramic shield and MagSafe areas are also shifting toward a more seamless, uniform frosted glass texture, completely ironing out the two-tone look of previous generations. But design is just the surface layer. The real magic, the kind of technological leap that makes tech enthusiasts genuinely giddy, is happening deep inside the chassis under the hood. We need to talk about the silicon. Apple is reportedly preparing to deploy the brand new A20 Pro Chip, and it is built on TSMC's groundbreaking 2nm manufacturing process. Let that sink in. While current flagship devices are running on 3nm architecture, moving down to 2nm is a monumental industry milestone. What does a 2nm chip actually mean for you in daily usage? It means billions more microscopic transistors packed into a space the size of a postage stamp. It means raw processing speeds that will effortlessly crush desktop-grade benchmarks, and an efficiency leap that cuts power consumption by up to 30%. Thermal management is drastically improved as well, meaning you can run heavy 3D games, render 4K video timelines, or push intensive AI background tasks for hours without the phone ever turning into a hot skillet. Furthermore, Apple is implementing advanced wafer-level multi-chip module packaging, which fuses the CPU, GPU, neural engine, and a massive 12 GB of unified RAM into a single, cohesive ultra-fast package. This 12 GB memory threshold is critical. Apple Intelligence features are expanding rapidly, requiring immense on-device processing power for real-time local computations, live speech-to-text dictation, and deeply personalized, context-aware Siri interactions. With 12 GB of RAM backing the A20 Pro, the iPhone 18 Pro Max will not just be a smartphone, it will function as an autonomous pocket supercomputer capable of handling complex local artificial intelligence tasks without constantly pinging cloud servers. Connectivity is getting an equally massive upgrade. Apple is cutting ties further with external component suppliers by rolling out its custom in-house C2 cellular modem across the flagship lineup. This third-generation modem is engineered to deliver lightning-fast data speeds, absolute peak power efficiency, and advanced support for next-gen satellite connectivity features. Imagine being completely off the grid, miles away from any cell tower, and still being able to smoothly browse the web, stream data, and maintain high-speed communication purely via satellite link. That is not science fiction, that is what the C2 modem is built to enable. Now let us move to the crown jewel of the leaks, the camera system. If you thought the jump to 48 megapixel lenses across the board on previous models was impressive, Apple is entirely changing the physics of mobile photography this year. The main camera on the iPhone 18 Pro Max is heavily rumored to feature a brand new, industry-altering variable aperture system. Every single smartphone camera up to this point has used a fixed physical aperture, meaning software has to do all the heavy lifting to manage depth of field and harsh lighting conditions. A variable aperture system changes everything by physically mechanicalizing the lens blades. When you are shooting in a pitch-dark environment, the physical aperture will automatically widen to flood the sensor with maximum light, preserving details that other phones completely miss in the shadows. When you step out into blinding midday sunlight, the aperture will physically narrow down, cutting out overexposure and delivering crisp, natural highlights without blowing out your background. More importantly, the natural background blur in portrait mode will no longer look like a messy software algorithm guessing edges. It will be true, optical depth of field control generated right through the glass lens elements. Couple this with an upgraded 24-megapixel front-facing selfie camera and advanced telephoto stabilization, and the content creation capabilities on this device are going to rival professional mirrorless cinema rigs. Even the physical buttons are getting refined. Leaks indicate that Apple is tweaking the camera control button, moving away from complex touch-capacitive sliding gestures and focusing purely on a crisp, hyper-responsive pressure-sensitive mechanism. This ensures that when you snap a photo or lock focus in a hurry, you get absolute tactile confirmation every single time, eliminating accidental misfires when your phone is bouncing around in your pocket or bag. When you step back and look at the entire picture, the iPhone 18 Pro Max represents a major turning point for consumer technology. Between the 2nm A20 Pro silicon, the massive battery endurance upgrade, the shrinking dynamic island, the custom C2 satellite-ready modem, and the revolutionary variable aperture camera, Apple is not just iterating, they are setting an entirely new standard for what a mobile device can achieve. The official reveal is expected to drop in September, and as production ramps up globally, expect even more concrete details to spill out of the supply chain.